Hi guys, my name is Bryant Dodd and I want to do a little documentary, if you will, about my life and about how I got started painting. And in just a few minutes, I'm also going to show you my very first painting that I have ever done back in 1987. And when I look at this painting today, I look and say, well, I've improved a whole lot, which I have. And I'm not embarrassed about this painting or anything that I'm going to show you, because I know we all have to have a starting point somewhere. And I just think that it's a unique thing that I was able to get this painting back and have it after 28 years. Now, the history on how I really got started and got an interest into painting was my sister. She used to paint with acrylic paints. I used to watch her paint, and I always enjoyed watching her paint. And so I thought it was really interesting. I thought, well, I would like to do that. I would like to learn how to do that. And so I eventually saved up enough money, and I bought me a 8x10 canvas, and I bought me one paintbrush, and I bought me a little small cheap set of acrylic paint, and I bought me a little bottle of paint thinner. Now, I didn't really know the art of art, no pun intended there, but I didn't really know how to begin to paint. I didn't know what all tools were needed. I just knew what she was using, and I couldn't buy everything that I wanted to buy, so I bought just enough so I could at least paint something, and that's exactly what I did. So watching her, being around my sister, got me interested in it, so that's basically how I got started and got the desire to paint. And I went to my grandmother's house pretty often, and so I carried all of my little art supplies that I bought over to my grandmother's house. And I sat down on her couch, and I took my one little small canvas, my paint, laid my paint on the arm of her couch, laid the canvas in my lap, and I went and took my one paintbrush and started painting. Started painting from my imagination. And I guess that's kind of tough to do, because even now when I try to draw something from my imagination, sometimes it's complicated to even do that, even now, after 28 years of painting and drawing. But most of the time I paint from reference photos. It's a whole lot easier. It gives me something that I can look at and paint. But I didn't know the concept, like I said, of painting. I'm going to show you this painting real quick. And this is, like I said, the very first painting that I had ever done. And it's really a scene of a cabin with a little small lighthouse beside it, and the ocean with a little boat. And we get a little closer, and you can see there's a couple of little guys that's on the boat there that's fishing and everything. And I just drew a little body of water, like a little small pond out here beside it, and the ocean waves. And the brown you see here is just a lot of dirt. Yes, it could have been sand at the time, or supposed to have been sand, but I knew there wasn't a lot of grass around it, so I just put enough grass in there to give it a little bit of greenery. And I did all this with one paintbrush, just one little small paintbrush. Everything, even signed my name at the bottom of it with that one paintbrush. But and if you also notice the quality of the paint, it's not bad. This is a 28-year-old painting right here, so it's really not that bad as far as the paint, and the canvas, as far as the way it looks, because this is all that's on here is just basically paint. There was no type of fixative or anything. I didn't know anything about that at the time, and gave it to my grandmother. It was just my gift to my grandmother there. And so she was really proud of it. So she even took and put my name on the back of it, put the year, December the 9th, 1987. And I called them Mama and my Pawpaw. And so she signed the back of it. She kept it. And she held on to it until they got too old and they couldn't take care of themselves anymore, and finally had to go into a nursing home. And then my sister luckily did get this painting. And a couple of years ago, she actually mailed the painting to me, and I was really shocked and surprised to see it, because I really forgotten about it for a long time. I mean, I remember that I did this for my grandparents, but I didn't really ever think that I would see this painting again. I just thought it was lost, maybe, in the mix of them having to move and shuffle around. But just taking that one paintbrush, didn't take a pencil, didn't know anything about taking a pencil and maybe lightly outlining, drawing out an outline of maybe where I wanted to put my house, my cabin, my boat, and the water and all of that, like I would do now. But I've really learned a lot over the years, and one of the things I've learned is you need more than one paintbrush, to start out, to paint with, to paint something really good and to use all the techniques. But that's fine. That's okay. And if that's all you can come up with is one canvas, one paintbrush, and some paint, hey, that's fine. I did it, And I basically took that one paintbrush, put all my little paint, my colors on there, and I just basically kind of drew out on the canvas the shape of my house and my little lighthouse and my little boats and my sails that's on the boat. And I just kind of painted it in, like you would color something in if you were using a pencil. And, I've learned a lot, like I said, over the years. But that's basically how I got started. The inspiration came from watching my sister as she would paint. And then I decided, hey, that's pretty cool. I want to do that. I want to be an artist. And took a little bit of art while I was in elementary school and junior high school and things like that, but it just never did take enough schooling back then, to learn a lot of things. And it wasn't until after I got out of school. Of course, I was 20 years old when I painted this, and now I'm 47 years old. So it's a 28-year-old painting, and it's really nice to have. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever kept anything that long, from such a young age. But it's really good. I mean, I enjoy it. I'm really pleased with it. I'm pleased about the achievements that I've come and I've accomplished. I've come a long ways since this painting here. And even after 28 years of painting, I still learn something new every day. Now, I'm going to be coming up with some more paintings. I'm going to create some paintings. And the next one I do, I believe I'm going to paint a landscape painting, because that's one thing I enjoy doing is landscapes. But I'm not going to use a paintbrush at all this time. Not even going to have one paintbrush. We're going to do it with 0 paintbrushes. I'm going to use things around the house, and I'm going to use maybe some things like magazine papers, sponges, and just things like that. Kind of get the idea from the spray painters. If you ever seen them spray paint on this poster board, they use sponges and different things and to create really nice paintings with. That's the kind of concept I'm going to do, but I'm going to actually do a real canvas, and I'm going to use acrylic paint, and I'm going to see. It's really an experiment, I guess, but I'm going to see what I can come up with without using a paintbrush at all. That's just something as an artist I want to achieve. It's just something I want to do. And over the years, I've learned to do a lot of things, learned to play instruments, play guitar, and I play a little bit of harmonica, a little bit on the piano. And I learned to draw first, or learned to paint first, before I ever learned to play any musical instruments. So one of the big questions is, in the music in the categories, if you're looking on, like I say, an online advertising directory, when you look and you see the categories, they always have music and art together in the same category. Well, a lot of people wonder do they have to learn to be a musician before they can be a good artist, because they go hand in hand, it seems like. But the answer is no. I mean, I didn't know how to play a musical instrument before I started painting. I learned to do both of them. I learned to paint, and then I learned to play these instruments. So it doesn't matter. So you don't have to be a musician to be an artist. And you don't have to be an artist to be able to be a musician. It's just what you set your heart to and your goals at and what you want to learn. So I advise you to just dig in and start learning. And since this is a channel dedicated to my artwork and paintings and things like that, then on your artwork, if you're a new artist, if all you can get is one brush and one canvas and a little bit of cheap paint like I did, go for it. The more you do, the more you're going to learn. And like I said, I'm still learning every day. And if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, please subscribe. And if you like this little documentary of getting started, how I got started with my art career and my paintings and things like that, just, give me a like on the video and come back for more videos. If you subscribe to my channel, then you will get a notification when I upload new videos, which I'm going to upload some new videos pretty constantly. And that way I can not only improve my art skills by doing new art and showing you on the videos as I draw and as I paint pastel paintings and things like that. I'm going to do some real-time recordings. Not really big into the speed painting thing. I like people seeing some real-time paintings that I do. You can always skip through if you want to skip ahead. If I create a long video, or if you don't want to watch the whole video, you can come back later and watch it. But subscribe to my channel, and I hope you enjoy the work that you see. And if I can ever be of any help, any assistance to you, answer any questions relating to art, or even music for that matter, just ask me, and I'll be glad to help you as much as possible. I want to thank you for watching this video.